Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video we are going to look at the BSS V4 tactical flashlight from Thrunite. Now, before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Thrunite who did provide this product for review. Now when I say BSS, well, that's Black Scout Survival. That's a channel that I've actually watched for a real long time. I mean, going back to the days when Jack was really providing in-depth, detailed reviews on products, and well, at this point, he has products of his own, typically revolving around, I would say, like tactical and firearms applications. And that is absolutely the case with this BSS V4. Now in this video, I get this out into the remote wilderness for 3 days, out there with my boys doing some backpacking in a beautiful location. Now personally, I really enjoy using my flashlights in that application because, well, even if you are in an urban environment, this really does give you a sense for the performance. So long distance views, nice beam shots, tight areas, overall very, very dark, and well, just a nice place to do a review. So what we're gonna do when we come back, I'm gonna roll in that field use footage so you can see this, some nice beam shots and great overall action. Then we're gonna come back into the studio and we're gonna take a look at this in detail. But with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. So just out here in the mountain wilderness, beautiful day, a little bit hot, but very, very nice. Sun's going down and it's time to start talking about flashlights. So here, this is the Thrunite. This is the BSS V4. Now, BSS, well, that's Black Scout Survival, and bottom line is I've been watching Jack for a long time now, and he's been coming up with some awesome products, and most recently with Thrunite. So he's had a few different models with Thrunite. Actually has a weapon light out right now, and this is his sort of, I would say, tactical EDC flashlight. So here, very nicely done. You can see in this awesome camouflage color. Looks really cool, but you know, as the sun goes down, I'm definitely going to need myself a good light. So we're going to use this out here and get some awesome beam shots. So I'm pretty excited. I really like this color, the fact that it's this anodized camouflage, very, very cool. Ends up with a very aggressive strike bezel, nice pocket clip, and overall great functionality. And so, well, with that said, let's see what happens when the light goes down. We're going to use this in just a little bit, so hang tight. So now as you can see, the lights are going down, but really beautiful, just absolutely mirror-like sunset. Just beautiful. You can see the mountain over there. That's actually our destination for tomorrow, one of 2 peaks. So gonna make our way up there, pretty substantial. But really at this point, here we go with the BSS V4. So have it in my hands. Let's start with turbo. Here you go. So the turbo mode, you can see it is a little bit foggy tonight. Fog is definitely rolling in. Gives it sort of an eerie feel. Nice hot beam there. Actually, not overly hot in terms of the hot spot, so a nice mix between a hot spot and a flood. You can see here, illuminating down into the water nicely. You can see down into the water with ease for a pretty good distance. And all the way across. Now working my way up the side of the mountain, it does kind of fizzle out there, and we'll try this again tomorrow night. I'm going to be out here for a couple nights, maybe tomorrow we'll have a little bit less fog, but as you can see here, really nice beam. So a good mix between a hot spot and sort of like that spotlight and a flood. So that turbo was initiated with the tail switch. It also has a momentary press, so as I half press, you can see that momentary press working out very well, so that's nice. I really do like a momentary press on a tail switch, so that to me is a very good feature. Getting on the side switch here, so you will notice that we have different modes. Long pressing, well here you go, low, medium, high, low, medium, high. So the low mode, as I look at this, it's perfect for general navigation. So if I was coming through here and I had to illuminate my trail hiking out of here, well, I'm going to get good battery life, but at the same time I can see everything with ease. Now I am going to get a little bit of tunnel vision because, well, it's not casting too far off into the distance. However, it is doing enough to at least illuminate my trail. If I had to, I could definitely pick up on trail markers. So as you can see here, illuminating up into the trees and doing generally a very nice job. Again, pretty much, I would say mostly flood with a little bit of hot spot in there, and I do like this beam pattern quite a bit. Long press, here's the medium mode. So this might be the best of both worlds, where you're still going to get pretty good battery life, but at the same time, pretty good throw, and now really illuminating everything. So at this point, I can definitely see not just the trail ahead of me, but, you know, off into the distance a good amount. And then again, another long press. And here, well, that's the high mode. And you'll notice the high mode actually has a real good throw. I mean, at this point, I am illuminating literally all the way across the pond over to the shoreline and fully illuminating. You can see over there all the trees. So doing a nice job. Now, I'm not 100% sure that I would rock this for too long. The flashlight is warming up, and I know it's going to kill the battery after a while, but this high mode doing a good job. And now just to give you a comparison between the high and turbo, double press here, that's the turbo mode. So here you can see that turbo. I feel like the high and the turbo are fairly close. Now I just leaned into that tail switch and depressed it, and at this point that is definitely the turbo. So between the high and the turbo, I feel like it's not that much difference, but at the same time, definitely a nice throw. Now a couple other modes worth mentioning. So I am going to long press the side switch. You're not going to be able to see too much here, but that's that moonlight mode. And well, you can see here, barely illuminating a rock, but you can. So if you had to read or something like that, it would do fine. I'd actually use this sitting in my hammock or in my tent to be able to see what's going on, change, find stuff, no problem. So the moonlight mode, definitely useful, but really not out here in the trails. And last but not least, triple press. Well, that's your strobe mode. That's enough to make anybody go crazy out here in the wilderness. If there's a moose out there, he's tripping out right now. So there you have your tactical strobe. Long press, and well, there you go, back into that moonlight. Single press off. The BSS version 4, pretty cool out here. And we'll try this again tomorrow night and see how it looks. So it's the second night out here, and as you can see, it's starting to get dark. Just enough light to still be able to see through here reasonably. But again, here we have the BSS V4. Just going to get it into a little more field use. So here again, we're going to go into the turbo mode. Just going to depress on the back, momentary press here, and there you go. So that's that full turbo mode there, really lighting things up. I'll just click it in all the way because I'm just kind of walking. So yeah, that's the turbo. And as we look here, you'll see illuminating all the way well off down the trail. Now the light's already heating up. Obviously you need to be careful with your battery life, but you can see doing a wonderful job lighting this up. And again, not a ton of like super tight hotspot, more in the way of a very even beam pattern, which I do like, but it still casts nicely way off. So really nice beam pattern. I like this a lot. Single press on the side. So you can see here, that is that low mode. Now the low mode is literally just about perfect to get me down the trail, getting that good battery life. No problem, can see all the hazards ahead of me. But the only time you struggle, it illuminates just a little bit in front of you, but not too far off into the distance. So you are going to get just a little bit of that tunnel vision. But in that case, I will long press again. So here's that medium mode. Medium's great combination of battery runtime and also good lumen output. Decent throw. You can see here actually illuminating pretty far off, and I can actually identify trail markers now. So as you look at that, you can clearly see that blue blaze. So the medium mode to me I would try to run as much as I possibly could if I was using this flashlight to get me out of here. I think that medium mode's gonna really strike a nice balance between overall runtime, throw, and good amount of light. Another long press. There's that high mode. So the high mode, pretty bright here. Doing a nice job illuminating, much more beam. And now that you see that star pattern, that is because of the strike bezel. So you can see there, very defined. That is pretty wild. Now you can take the strike bezel off if you so choose, but I kept it on. Has a little bit of an aggressive look, but that's the high mode. Now a long press here. That's the moonlight again. Very little amount of light. Really not going to show you too much. You know, if you had to kind of look at some details, you could certainly do that, but again, that moonlight mode, very, very faint. Triple press on the side switch. There you go. Tactical strobe. So pretty bright and definitely disorienting. And off. Now, something worth mentioning while we're out here, you can see the side switch illuminating blue. That little indicator there, mighty nice. Kind of helps you find it. Now, I am finding that if the light's off and in the dark, I'm swiveling this around, it is a little difficult to find the button just because it's a little bit flush. It's not a big deal, but at the same time, it is just a little bit difficult, but you can make it work. You just got to be patient. Now, one thing worth noting that I think is interesting, here I am in the low mode. If I long press the side switch, well, there is medium. Now, if I wait long enough, you'll notice if I long press again, well, that goes back to the low mode. You would think that if I long pressed again, it would go into high, but no, we're going to do this again. I'm going to do it quickly. I'm in the low mode, long press medium, long press high. Okay, so that's what that looks like. But instead, what we're going to do the next time, long press, that's low, long press medium, and now if I wait just a little bit, couple seconds, long press, back to low. So if you don't do it quickly, it won't go into the high mode, and in fact it reverts back to the low mode. I don't know how I feel about that just yet. I might like it, I might not. I'm not really too sure. It's just a matter of playing with this light, practicing, and seeing if that's something that works for me. Now, in terms of memory, let's just say here I am in low, medium, high. Now that it's in the high mode, okay, let's see what happens. I'm going to single press that side switch, turn off the light. I'm going to wait a couple seconds here. And now, pressing the button, well, there you go. It's in the high mode. So it does have memory, even though at this point, again, you know, if I long press and here I am in the low mode, let's try it one last time. Turning the light off, wait a few seconds, a couple more. Single press now, again, the low mode. So, you know, again, even though here, now I'm in medium, if I wait a couple seconds, long press again, well, now back into that low mode. It's kind of, I've never really seen programming quite like this. It is just a little bit different. So, like I said, just gonna have to try this out for a while and practice and see what I think. But generally speaking, this BSS V4, awesome. I can say I definitely like it. And so yeah, there you have it. Some great field use using this Thrunite BSS V4. Now again, absolutely beautiful. This color in this camo is so cool. I do really, really enjoy it. I think overall it's just, you know, it looks badass. Does that really matter? No, but bottom line is it just does. Now, a couple of things. Overall, performance very good. Nice beam pattern. I greatly enjoy it. But let's just say you're somebody that was like, well, I really don't need that aggressive strike bezel. And I'm kind of in that camp, yet at the same time I did greatly enjoy it. Well, bottom line is that threads off, which is really nice. So it does give you the ability to sort of slim this down. Now at that point you're not going to be sort of digging into your pocket, which is also very nice. Kind of makes it a little more EDC, I would say like office friendly, but yeah, you know, there's also something badass about this strike bezel. So either way you go, not a big deal, but just showing you this, which is also very cool. Here you end up with a filter. So this thread-on filter here, it is sort of a red filter. Now you can see as you look through there, definitely red. Nicely done and anodized to match the rest of the flashlight. And the threads here, very smooth, goes on real nice. So you can see there, that red lens. And pressing here, well, there you have it. So that there on the turbo mode, nice amount of light. And obviously cycling now, long press. Well, that's going to be your moonlight mode. Single press and long pressing between the different modes. So low, medium, high, low, medium, high. Single press off. Very, very nice. And the functionality you saw while I was out on the trails, just to demonstrate again here while it's light, here's your momentary press. So you can see there, a little half press. Fully depressing, those are your turbo modes. Again, long pressing here, that's your moonlight, turning that off. Single press, again, a long press now, low, medium, high. Single press off, and triple press, there's your strobe. So pretty typical functionality, very nicely done from Thrunite, and I do have to say overall I do enjoy the programming. Now some other subtle details. Here you have your pouch. Now I could take this or leave it. I do understand why they offer it. I think some people, maybe more like an operator, would enjoy this. Law enforcement would enjoy this. I would also say, well, if you're somebody who's looking to carry this with the aggressive strike bezel, you may be thankful that you're not digging at your pocket. Really, at that point, at least the sheath here is the sacrificial sort of fabric. So overall, nice that this comes with it. Do you need it? Hard to say. For me, probably not, because I do plan on carrying this as more of an EDC. Typical Thrunite box, not a big deal. Inside this packaging, you do end up with a lanyard. You do end up with a spare tail cap, couple of O-rings, and your USB charging port covers. Now, this also comes with a charging cable. I have that right here. And as we look at it, well, this is a micro USB. Come on, man. I mean, everything's been going USB Type-C, and at that, this is actually very, very deep. So most of my other micro USB cables don't reach and make contact, which means I am required to use the actual Thrunite cable. And if you look at how long that connector is, that's what allows it to get all the way inside the charging port to do the actual charging. And connecting it here, you'll see, very simple, straightforward, a little bit finicky, but not too big of a deal. And now plugging in the other side, well, you can see you do get a little bit of a red illumination there. You can see that my battery's definitely been drained on. I have used this an absolute ton at this point. Used it for 3 full days of camping, so 2 nights at length and in a bunch of scenarios. So a little bit of a downfall, in my opinion, about this micro USB. I really do wish they went with the USB Type-C, as pretty much everything else in this world has gone that way, including all the other Thrunite flashlights. I don't really understand. I'm at a little bit of a loss for this new flashlight coming out with a micro USB, but it's not a deal breaker, just a disappointment. And to finalize, this clip did come in the package. You can see here I've added it to this, so very nice. Overall, I do have to say I greatly enjoy the BSS V4. Couple little tweaks maybe, but I do like it. And so at over 2,500 lumens in that turbo mode, as well as the fact that you can put on this filter, which is really cool. If you don't want it, well, there you go. Or even putting on that strike bezel, very, very nice. Now the spread in all the rest of the modes, everything from your Firefly mode all the way up through low, medium, and high, very nicely done. Nice spread, I do like it. The look, the fit and finish, the overall presentation, fantastic. Comes with a number of accessories, which is nice, and your spare parts kit. So Thrunite doing a nice job. I would say Jack from Black Scout Survival speccing this out very well. I do like his choice of the beam. So I like the fact that it's not overly spotty. It's kind of a mix between a spot and a flood. Very, very cool. Good overall spread in terms of the actual programming between each mode, and definitely something that looks pretty much kick-ass. And so again, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Thrunite for providing this for review. As always, I do enjoy Thrunite products. They do a very, very nice job. I've never had one that I haven't liked, and that is absolutely the case with this BSS V4. So all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. Hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.